week we watched The Great Mouse Detective, Master.
This week, Master, we watched The Black Cauldron, Master.
Well, Master, the connection between the two movies was dog sidekicks.
You keep calling me Master, but you're the Master here.
No, you are.
No, you're the Master.
What the hell?
Specifically from Doctor Who.
Ah. Hello and welcome to Oldie, but a Goodie, a podcast where me, the King Sans Robe, is joined by his evil henchman Zack.
There's nothing evil about me, Lord and Master. I just want what's best for the realm, which just so happens to align with my interest. Yes.
Well, together we watch the movies, then they're chosen by ourselves, and they're connected to the last movies we did. Last week's movie had a dog in it that was a sidekick. And some may say the main character in this movie has a dog that is a sidekick.
But there wasn't a dog in the film. I don't mean to criticize you, my lord. Of course, you have never wrong, never incorrect, never error.
That's it. How dare you question me?
Where was the dog, though?
It looks like a dog. And is described in the books as being dog-like.
Oh, okay, I'm back on board. I was about to say, I was like, the connection is there's a dog sidekick, and this is clearly, like, not a dog. But it does kind of look dog-like, and if in the books it says dog-like, then it could be presumed a dog of sorts.
I mean, look, I look at the photo, the one I've got right there as my team's background is the one that you're probably looking at right now as the episode photo. The dog from the Black Cauldron, the Smeagol from the Black Cauldron looks exactly, kinda, like a terrier. Like a dog.
That's true, absolutely, 100%. There's just one problem I have.
What's the problem?
One. It's the hands, the arms and the hands, you know?
That it walks on, like, two legs?
Yes, and then it has opposable thumbs.
Yeah.
That's, like, a big indicator when something's not a dog. Like, the one thing I think of, like, us over pets is we have the opposable thumbs. That's why we're in charge. If my dog has opposable thumbs, I'm like, my throne is in jeopardy, you know?
Well, Zach, it's kind of like, would you say my connection doesn't work if, last week we did The Great Mouse Detective, and then I chose the movie Nosferatu, where there are mice on a ship, but they're like actual mice. The animated mice and then the actual mice, they look very different. One of them is walking around and talking. The other is eating corpses and going, rah, rah, rah. But the connection still works. Therefore, dog sidekick, I feel, technically, maybe works. And I will... No, it is a bit of a stretch, isn't it?
So what you're saying is if I disagree with you, I'm racist.
I didn't want to pull that card.
That's what I'm hearing. That's what I hear you're saying is that if I disagree, I'm racist. And I don't want to be racist. So.
Are you going to slap this connection with a stretch? And
this is definitely a stretch. I am sorry. You're getting a stretch on this one. This is very stretched. I need to replace my underwear. This is really stretched.
Wow.
But from personal experience.
It's got a bunch of holes in it too. The movie, not the underpants.
Yeah. Of course. It could be a dog.
Yeah.
All right. So, this week we watched Black Cauldron.
Now, I've always wanted to watch The Black Cauldron.
Oh.
I've always had it on my list of Disney movies to watch because I'm fascinated with the weird ones. And usually the weird Disney movies aren't animated. The animated ones are usually really safe. And so I've always been interested in this animated one. And my first impressions are, it was okay. Zach, what did you think of The Black Cauldron?
Well, I've always wanted to watch it as of a week ago when I learned of its existence. Because, the only reason I knew about this last week was when I was getting reviews for The Great Mouse Detective. Someone mentioned The Black Cauldron, and I literally Googled it and went, that's a movie that exists, apparently, because I had literally never heard of it before. And then I went on with my day, blissfully unaware that I would be doomed to watch said movie next week. And you know what? I did watch the movie next week, and I have watched it, and it was a movie that I watched.
It was a movie that you watched. That is, yes.
That contained a possible amount of dog. And it seems half-baked is my initial impression.
Yeah, I agree with that. This feels like two movies, but also half a movie, and I don't really know exactly how else to describe. I don't mean it's bad. I think this is a classic film that we get on the podcast, which is a movie that is interesting. Is it good? Is it bad? Doesn't matter. It is interesting.
Yeah, I'd say this movie's bad.
That's a shame. I actually didn't mind it.
No, I think it's okay. I just had a very, lull that lasted, the whole movie. I was kind of in a, sort of it was just I was looking for a little bit more, and that little bit more never came.
Yeah.
And I was a little bit disappointed. I was hoping for a little, and it was very weird. There was weird ideas, but they weren't explored enough.
Yeah.
And characters interacted very weirdly.
Yeah.
It was just a weird movie. I liked the ideas behind it. I liked a lot. Which is why I was disappointed with the movie as a whole, I think, because I feel like the ideas could have been fleshed out better.
Yeah.
And I would have liked this movie a lot more. That being said, it wasn't the worst movie I've ever watched. It's no Garbage Pail Kids, you know?
That's true. Nothing really is. It's no Muppets Wizard of Oz either. I will say,
agreed.
Going into it, I thought that this was going to be on par with Great Mouse Detective for me, in the sense of, it's good, not great. It's good and fun, and it's fine. But I think it is a little bit worse because, I with Great Mouse Detective, there were moments where I was like, oh, hell yeah. Whereas with this one, I was just kind of like, oh, okay, for pretty much all of it.
Yeah. Well, I feel like the Great Mouse Detective felt like it was fleshed out. Like, they had the ideas and they executed them, and it all made sense.
Yeah, it's got characters, it's got not lore, but it has more, the world makes sense.
Yeah, because it's just mice, but they're living the same lives at the same time as their human equivalents, just in the shadows. And that's kind of cutesy and fun, right?
Yep.
And that was the idea, and they did that, and it worked well. Whereas in this one, it's they had a whole bunch of ideas. They kind of jambled the pot and then sprayed it onto the table, and then was there you go, there's your movie. And you're like, oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're good ideas, but the execution is weird and half-baked.
Yeah, definitely. We will do non-spoilers and then spoilers, but if you have no idea what the Black Cauldron is, very, very briefly, it is Lord of the Rings, but if it was Arthur and the Sword and the Stone, but if Sauron was John Hurt as Skeletor, and the ring was a cauldron, and Gollum was a dog. That's pretty much the plot. And also there's a pig. That's kind of we'll give a more detailed breakdown later, but it is basically just reskinned Lord of the Rings, and it's 80 minutes long.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way. I mean, all fantasy is just Lord of the Rings at the end of the day. But this felt almost too inspired, I would say.
Yeah.
I don't know what your thoughts are.
I just think they really didn't. Maybe too inspired is a good way to say it, but I think, they had lots of ideas, and they didn't refine a lot of the ideas down to a point. And I feel like it could have done with like a cutting of just like 2 or 3 of the ideas so that you could flesh out more of the other ideas.
Yeah.
And I don't know, the characters were like weird. It kind of like, if someone told me this movie like had an AI generated helper to make this movie, I would believe them. You know what I mean?
That's fair. I think that, the main character, Taran, I think his name is, he's probably one of the worst main characters in a fantasy thing I think I've ever. He's so fucking useless, dude.
Yeah. well, is he though, Sandra?
But also everyone kind of is as well.
That's the thing, right? Like, you call him useless, but literally everyone's kind of useless in this movie, including the like antagonist.
Yes, I agree.
Literally everyone in this movie doesn't really do anything, which is crazy.
I think incredible performance from John Hurt as the voice of the bad guy. But no, he's kind of shit at what he's doing. Everyone is. Even maybe not the princess, but also the princess doesn't get to do anything though. So
no, she doesn't do anything at all in this movie, which is weird.
Yeah.
Even the bard gets to do something, and he's introduced like 3/4 of the way in the movie or something, you know?
But yeah, it's interesting that you say that this feels like a bunch of different ideas, because it is based off a book series.
Okay.
A series of 5 fantasy novels from the 60s that are aimed at kids. They're pretty short, called The Chronicles of Pyridane, which is, kind of like Lord of the Rings, Wheel of Time-esque adventures in a big fantasy land. I think it's like heavily inspired by Welsh, like folklore and stuff. So all of the characters have, Welsh names, which we'll get into as we talk about the characters in this movie. This film loosely adapts the first 2 books. So I think that might be why it feels like it's adapting 2 stories, because it is adapting 2 books. But yeah, also the behind the scenes of this was fucked. It was like, they started working on it in the 70s, and then it just like wasn't working for a bit. The guys that made Great Mouse Detective, I think, were making this, and then they left because of creative differences at some point. I don't know what the creative differences were. I think maybe they wanted it to be like more comedic. I'm not sure. The film was also gutted at one point because it was too scary for kids, so they cut out a bunch of stuff. But this is still the first Disney movie to ever be rated PG and not G.
Oh,
so
wow.
It is still probably the darkest. I would say to this date, it's still probably the darkest Disney film. Not necessarily, actually. In terms of their animated stuff, I don't think they would get to. Well, that doesn't count, Zach. I mean, like, thinking about it, I don't think it got to the. I mean, Bambi's pretty dark, but I don't think that.
It would be hard to say.
Yeah.
It definitely is a sort of a dark theming of a movie, especially for a kids' movie. I do love, if you look up the Chronicles Pyridane, the artwork that's been done for like the book covers and stuff.
Yeah.
Is very cool. So I might actually check out the series after it and see if the series... I have a feeling the films really did it a disservice, unfortunately.
Yeah. No, for sure. I think the series is really well regarded. It looks, kind of like, obviously it's before Wheel of Time, but the vibes feel very Wheel of Time-esque, like Mal going on his adventures and shit, I think.
Yep.
I would love to read this, and maybe they'll make it again, because a fun fact, Zach.
Ooh.
About this movie is that they lost the rights to make adaptations of that book series, but then 10 years ago they reacquired the rights to make the film, to make the Chronicles of Pyridane movies. But they haven't done anything with it, but they have the rights, so maybe eventually they'll do it again. I don't know.
Cool.
Yeah, it's interesting because I think the legacy of this movie is that it's really dark and scared kids, so much so that I don't think Disney released this since then. Like, it came out in the 80s, it
Yeah.
bombed in the box office, and then they never released it until the 90s. Like, the late 90s as well.
Wow.
So, like, over a decade later, they were like, you're not going to be able to watch this, actually, never mind. So I think the legacy of the movie is that it's this real weird Disney film, but I don't know if it is. I think maybe the legacy overhyped me a little bit for it, and it was actually just an okay film.
Yeah, no, it's interesting, because that would make sense if it's an interpretation of the books.
Yeah.
The problem is what they needed to do for that sort of thing is do, like, little time jumps, I feel. Because it feels like this happens over the course of, like, 2-3 days. Whereas I feel like the books, it's, like, years. You know? Like, because the characters very quickly are like, we are best friends, even though we've just met. And I'm like, that was definitely like in the books, it took them a couple of months to really warm up to each other. In the movie, it took them 2 minutes of dialogue. And I was like, this feels weird. So that checks out for me. That this is a book adaptation. It makes sense now.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that. Did you like the art style in general, though?
I thought the arts and the visuals, I had no notes. It was really good. I really liked the look and aesthetic and the feel and the animation and the style. I especially liked the evil layer and his stuff. I thought that was all super sick, and I had zero problems with it. I actually liked it a lot. If things were made in this style all the time, I'd probably be pretty happy.
Yeah.
You know?
Definitely. I agree.
And it's also got that classic Disney, like, still background that's painted with animated characters on top of it.
Yeah.
Love it. I think it's timeless. I think it's great. And they should do it again. But this time with AI. They should use lots of AI artists and put animators out of jobs.
I don't know about that one. This is the first Disney animated film to ever use CGI.
Oh.
So...
Oh, interesting.
I don't know what part they used it for, but they used it in some parts.
I think it's for the magical, like...
Oh, yeah, probably.
Mists, right? Where we've got a lot of swirling magic, because it's just generic. I think if I think about most of the magical effects did look like different compared to the rest of the film. And I just chalked up to them using some sort of effect to make the magic look different.
Yeah.
But actually using CGI would be smart for that sort of thing, because you kind of want it. I think if you use CGI and, like, if it's meant to look weird, so you use CGI for it because it looks weird, I think that's a great way of using CGI.
I agree with this. Yeah, the cauldron, the bubbles, the floating magic orbs, that was all CGI, it looks like. So, yeah, hell yeah.
That makes sense.
That makes sense. And also, going back to how the movie was cut up a lot, this is cut by about 12 minutes, and everything was the ending. The final action scene was basically just gutted. So that makes sense as to why that there's some problems there.
There's a couple of problems that I had throughout mostly the entirety of the film. And we'll get there when we get there.
Well, I don't have much else to say non-spoilery. I don't think.
Well, Sandra, well, what did you think then? Do you think it's an oldie or a goodie from you? I'm making you do it first this time.
I did not like it. I did enjoy watching this. I think it's on the teetering point, if you will.
Well, can I give you a spoiler then? I'm gonna give it an oldie.
Yeah, I thought you might.
I'm gonna give it a pass. I'm like, I liked it.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed watching it, and I'm glad we did it, you know. But this falls into it goes into the, like, would I suggest it to others? Probably not. I'd probably just suggest watching something else, like The Great Mouse Detective or
Sword in the Stone, which is this, but better.
I would also say that for unrelated reasons that I wanted to mention slightly later, but yeah.
I don't want to do another animated movie next week. I don't want to do it. I'm not going to pick it.
Okay, I'll let it slip. I watched The Sword in the Stone this week.
Oh, hell
I'll let it slip. I couldn't help it. I wanted to watch it, so I did. Yeah, I already did. And so that may be the reason why I'm giving this an oldie is because I watched The Sword and the Stone and that one was really good. And this one was not good.
Did you watch it before or after this?
I watched it before, which was really a mistake.
Yeah. Well, not really, because Context that came out first, so I think you watched it in the correct order.
I watched it, I watched it in the canonical order. Spoiler, Sword of the Stone, really good. Very big goodie for me. I enjoyed that one a lot, and it's funny because I think that one would work really well in our weird timeline of the King Arthur movies that we did. There's a period that they keep skipping over, which is the younger years, and that's where the Sword of the Stone takes place, which is really funny. So it would actually slide in there.
Yeah.
So maybe it's an option this week. Who knows?
I doubt it. I doubt it is. And if it is, I'm not going to pick it because I want to do a live action. I want to get out of family movies, personally.
Well, that's interesting because some of my options might not be family movies because I wanted to get out of this family movie fucking rabbit hole that we've gone down.
I'm fairly certain we both said this was the last one last week.
Yeah, we were like, we're fucking done. Can we move on? Can we do something else? Good Lord. Sandro, goodie or oldie? Go. Gun to your head.
I'm going to give it you know what? I will give it a goodie because
there you go.
I didn't not enjoy it. I wouldn't watch it again, and I wouldn't really recommend it to that many people, but I also would say if you liked the animated Lord of the Rings and wish that it ended, it may not end well, but you should watch this. I would say, are you a fan of Disney movies there, 3-year-old child? Watch this one. And I'll traumatize them. They'll be like, what the hell? This is so scary. I didn't hate it, and I'll give it a goodie mainly because you're giving it an oldie, and I think it deserves both.
I think that's very fair, and I agree.
And also, I like the fact that a pig is a major plot point in the movie. We'll get to that.
Kind of.
All right. Taglines. Let's do it.
Taglines.
Okay. The first two I'll do two that I don't know what they're for, and then a third one that is a proper tagline.
Okay.
7 years in the making. In the celebrated Disney tradition comes our 25th animated motion picture.
Okay, yeah. Tagline, sure. Thumbs up.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's where... That is a warning sign, though, if they're talking about how great an achievement the film is, rather than about the film itself. It's like, ooh, they couldn't come up with anything good for this film, so they're just pointing out how great an animated studio they are.
That's true. So that one says 7 years in the making. The second tagline, magic, 12 years in the making. Magic that will live forever.
Yeah. I like that one as a tagline more, so thumbs up. But it's definitely it would have to do with how you would interpret when the stuff began. It's like, is it 12 years since they bought the license for this?
True.
And started work on it? Or is it 7 years where they actually started filming and animating bits for the film, right? It's definitely you could interpret it either way. That's what I'm thinking.
Well, it seems like, I don't know what the 7 years one is, but the 12 years, this movie was only released 12 years after it came out. So 12 years after it came out was when it was released on VHS. So maybe it's for that.
That's for the 12 years, and the 7 years is actually how long it took them to make the film.
Maybe. I don't know. Very confusing.
That makes sense to me.
Well, the final tagline is the proper one.
All right.
Hidden by darkness, guarded by witches, discovered by a boy, stolen by a king. Whoever owns it will rule the world or destroy it.
Thumbs down. Too long. Way too long of a tagline. I was just waiting for it to end, and it just kept going. This tagline was longer than the movie. Come on.
Well, the movie wasn't that long. It was only about 80 minutes, though.
Yeah.
So it's not actually that long of a tagline.
Yeah, no. Fine tagline. Okay. Yeah, it just kind of goes through the plot of the whole movie. So
it does.
And I don't think that's good for a tagline because I want to go. The tagline should make me go see the movie, not know how the movie goes, and so I don't have to go see it.
Yeah, imagine if a tagline was like, they all
Snape
die.
kills Dumbledore.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah. Imagine
they all
put
die.
that-
Tagline for Rogue One. I don't know.
Can you imagine they put Snape kills Dumbledore as a tagline, of the fucking Harry Potter movie?
That would be pretty funny,
There would have been
actually.
riots in the streets. That would have been so based.
Why does every recipe I try need 18 ingredients, including a jar of something paste I'll never use again, but will sit in my fridge for 9 months? I just want dinner in the oven, fast. That's why I love Blue Apron's new one-pan assemble and bake meals. They send you fresh ingredients that are already chopped. All you do is put it all together and bake. That's it. No chopping, no weird leftovers, just delicious, easy-to-make meals. Get 20% off your first 2 orders with code APRON20. Terms and conditions apply. Visit blueapron.com/terms for more.
Hey, it's Howie Mandel, and I am inviting you to witness history as me and my Howie Do It gaming team take on Gilly the King and Wallow 267's $1 million gaming in an epic global gaming league video game showdown. 4 rounds, multiple games, 1 winner, plus a halftime performance by multi-platinum artist Travie McCoy. Watch all the action and see who wins and advances to the championship match against Neo right now at globalgamingleague.com. That's globalgamingleague.com. Everybody games.
Well, howdy there, listener. Are you ever watching a superhero movie and you think to yourself, man, I wish this was a superhero film with real themes and depths and characters and stuff? Well, that's what Sandro and Zach talked about over at patreon.com/Oldie Buddy Goodie Pod. That's right, this is an ad for the Patreon where they're reviewing the X-Men movies. They just reviewed Logan, which feels like a real film with themes, and here's a clip. So if you don't know what Logan is, there's this old man, and he's like, man, I'm an old man. And then someone's like, you've got to take this kid to the Fireflies. Fuck, sorry, that's Last of Us.
What? I was so confused for a second there. So there's this big guy who's really good at fighting. He's like the best guy at fighting, right?
Yep, okay.
And then he's got this young ward that he's got to protect,
Yep,
you know?
yep.
He's got to make sure they're okay. And they're trying to blackmail the fairies by kidnapping one of their officers to get a pile of gold off the oh shit, I'm thinking of Artemis Fowl.
Thinking of Artemis Fowl.
Shit.
Oh, I can't believe you did that. Well, you can go grab that episode right now over at patreon.com/Oldie Buddy Goodie Pod. You get ad-free episodes too. Never have to listen to me do an ad ever again where I say I'm Sally McSeller and I'm an American yeehaw. I should put that on a t-shirt. Sell that at patreon.com/Oldie Buddy Goodie Pod. Sign up. Get a t-shirt. You can't, but maybe you will in the future. Get all the X-Men episodes, ad-free episodes, patreon.com/Oldie Buddy Goodie Pod. There's so much more music to go. Yeehaw, I guess. Okay, spoilers. We're gonna spoil the Black Cauldron. Spoiler warning, spoiler warning. Let's get into it.
There's a magic pig.
Oh, there's a magic pig? What do you mean there's a magic pig?
The pig can see the future. Pig can see visions.
Pig can put its snout into water and then it can make visions of the future.
They like hypnotize it like how you hypnotize a chicken. And then they dunk its head in water and then the water can like show you the future and it's like, what? What the heck?
Yeah, that was I liked the intro to this movie. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, like starts off we have a young lad.
Hello. I want to be a warrior.
Sure, kid. Yeah, I get it. He's young. He's silly. He's stupid.
Yep.
Yeah, and then he goes out and he feeds a pig, and then the guy's like, "Oh my god, the pig is freaking out. It must be because the pig is seeing an evil vision."
Yeah. So, okay. So the kid takes care of the pig. And there's the old guy there who says what you just said. But is the old guy just a farmer, or is he a wizard, or what is he?
in the context of the film, he's just a farmer. In the context of the books, who fucking knows, man? Maybe he is a wizard or something.
Because he's like, "Oh, my young one, you cannot go and be a warrior, for you must look after this pig." And it's like...
I mean, it makes sense.
But is he training the kid? Like, what?
I think they're just trying to be incognito, right?
Oh, yeah.
He's going for the, like, if evil never finds this pig. Because the whole problem, the whole thing that sets out this journey is, like... He learns that the evil Dark Lord has learnt of this magical pig, which is a very amusing start to this whole adventure. It's all about this fucking pig.
Yeah, so the pig has a vision that... So the land is at war with a guy called the Horned King.
Yeah.
And he is a king who has horns. So you know he's a real bad bloke.
He's also a skeleton man.
He's
Skeletor.
Skeletor.
Yeah, he's Skeletor, but he's horny.
Well,
unlike the other Skeletor, who is actually probably more horny. Anyway, but I would argue that the pig farmer could be considered a wizard.
yeah.
Because if you went back to medieval times and there was a guy in your village who could see the future, like he told visions of the future, you would call him a wizard.
Yeah, definitely. 100%.
Right? But he's probably trying to be on the down low, trying to hide the pig from the evil, which makes sense. I'm saying, and I'm going to throw this out there, that's a very quick and easy solution to his problem.
If you're going to say what I think you're saying, Zach, this is a Disney movie.
Yeah, but, like, things died in this film already. Like, just...
Yeah.
And one of these could be made into a BLT. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
you
Look,
know?
Well, is it the only magic pig? Is it the only pig? Is there only one pig? Can all pigs do this? What is the law? What's going on?
We don't know because it's not very fleshed out. But also, it's like, I want. There should have been a scene where he's like, his motivations could be clear. Of like, yeah, I need to stop the evil dark wizard from getting this pig.
Yeah.
I should kill this pig. And then he takes a look at the pig and he's like, oh man, I can't kill this pig.
That pig was
Such
so
a good
cute.
pig.
That pig is the cutest thing I've ever seen in a movie in my entire life, Zach. I would protect that pig.
It's a pretty good pig.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. When the young lad picks it up and he kind of picks it from the tummy and it's kind of chubby, I was like, that's a cute pig.
It's a cute pig. So the Horned King wants the pig because the pig can find the Black Cauldron.
Yep.
The Black Cauldron is a black cauldron where an evil king died inside of it.
Yeah.
And his demon possesses the cauldron, and if you throw things into the cauldron, they can come back undead. You can kind of do some supernatural stuff with the cauldron.
Okay, all right.
It's unspecified exactly what you can do.
There's several notes here. First off, I did like the little intro where they're like, the Black Cauldron was the container for an evil demon, and now it has magical powers. I was like, all right, I'm on board.
Yeah.
That seems fair.
It's the One Ring, but it's a cauldron. Let's go.
Yes. The late game, right at the end of the movie, where it's like, to turn it off, you have to sacrifice yourself. But to turn it on, you also need to sacrifice someone.
Yeah.
And to keep it going, you might need additional sacrifice. It's very unclear. I feel like this
they
cauldron...
cut off half the ending of the movie, so we don't actually know the lore of what's happening here.
I feel like this cauldron needs to come with an instruction manual. It's like,
Great.
put in half of a dead corpse in to start resurrecting the dead. However, do not add a full midget dog creature in. Otherwise, this will reverse the process of the previous skeleton.
We
However,
will get
if
to
you
that.
throw a pubescent child boy in, it will restart the process of your undead thing. However, do not accidentally get too close. Otherwise, it will interpret you as one of its undead and just fucking... Thanos snap you.
Yeah, we'll get to all of that. But I did like, though, the scene where the Horned King is like, he's doing a speech where he's like, the Black Cauldron's within my reach once I get this pig, and soon you will all rise and worship me. And he's just talking to like a fucking 1,000 corpses. just 1,000 skeletons all on a giant pile of dead people. And I was like, holy shit. But then I was like, does he have to throw all of them one by one into the cauldron? That's what I thought he'd have to do.
That's true. I did think it was weird. He started, but like once it got started, I'm like, okay, that makes sense. You got to start up the cauldron with a bit of a skeleton. You know?
Yeah.
It's kind of like, you know, this is a deep reference. You know that Doctor Who episode where they had the nanobots that healed people?
Nanobots that healed people. Oh, the gas mask kid episode.
Yeah, the gas mask one, right? And it was just because they were programmed to build a human, and they thought that the mask was part of the body.
Yep.
Right? Like it was just a mishap. The bloody what's it? The cauldron. You put in the skeleton. It's like, all right, I got to resurrect all the skeletons, right?
Yeah.
You put in a half dog creature thing. It's like, what the fuck? I'm not doing this. I'm shutting this down. Yeah, fuck this shit.
If I put in let's say, if I threw in a mouse, would it then resurrect all of the mice, or would it turn everyone into a mouse? Like, what are the rules?
I think my interpretation would that be it would just start, like, flooding out with rats. It would cause a plague of rats, and they would flood out of the cauldron.
Yeah, okay.
And so it's like, haha, you throw in a rat, and now you can swarm the land with a plague of rats, destroying all the crops in the land and starving the people.
Hell yeah. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so that's the cauldron. Anyway, the guy is like, we need to protect this pig. I'm going to send this boy who gets distracted by fucking twigs on the ground to go to some cabin somewhere and protect this pig. I trust him completely. I'm sure he won't and he's lost the pig. He immediately loses the pig.
Yep. Pretty much. He immediately loses the pig because he's daydreaming about being a hero. And this is the problem with this guy. All throughout the movie, he's doing this. And all throughout the movie, I'm like, this is one of the worst main characters I think I've ever seen in a fantasy movie.
Well, the problem is he's just a young boy and he dreams about being a hero. And that's fine. The problem is he by the end of the film, he's still kind of just that boy. You know? I don't feel like this character has grown. He opposes evil. He tries, but he's just he is just like a boy and is not very useful throughout the film. And that is something we touched on earlier, whereas like every character seems not very useful.
Yeah.
None of them, like most of the stuff the characters do at the start here helps the bad guy. And then, in the second half of the film, the bad guy shits the bed, and they manage to win. So it's like, it's just whoever's doing worse at the time. It's not whoever's doing better. Like, the heroes are doing such a bad job at the start of the film that the villain looks good, and then the villain does such a bad job that the heroes look good.
Pretty
and it's
much.
like, neither of these opponents are actually very good. They're both really bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
We see that when the first off, the boy encounters Schmeagol.
I'm groggy. I like the munchins and the crunchins. Can I have the munchins and the crunchins, please? I'm groggy.
I want to punch Gurgi.
You didn't like Gurgi?
Gurgi was fine.
I thought it was... Yeah.
Gurgi was very medium for me. The problem is, and this annoyed me with his character, and it annoyed me with every character in the film, and it annoyed me throughout this, is everyone's immediately too familiar with each other.
Yeah.
And it felt really weird. And I feel like you're just missing like a one scene where they bond for a second. Just give me any scene where they bond for a second. Let's go back to the Great Mouse Detective, right?
Yeah, sure.
The Great Mouse Detective, he meets this child that is immediately like, go away, child. I am busy with a case.
Yeah.
And then the child does some endearing stuff. And he's like, all right, I'll work with this child. like there's a moment there where like the child's like, but I know the thing that will help your case, and he's like, all right, I'll take you, and then the child's like, I'll come with, and he's like, absolutely not, and then the child comes with anyway, and it's like he like learns to like this child, where in this it's just like they bump into each other, and then Gurgi's like, you're my master now. And I'm like, what like. At least in Star Wars, like, Obi-Wan saved Jar Jar's life.
Yeah.
Sorry, Qui-Gon, I should say, saved Jar Jar's life, and now he's sticking along because of that, right?
No, yeah, exactly. It's trying to do that, but it's not.
Just 1 second, just like 1-2 seconds of him doing something. Like, he gives him the apple in the end, right? And Gurgi's like, thank you for the apple. I owe you forever now, right? Like, yeah. Make Gurgi, like, super grateful for this act, and the boy's like, whatever, I don't care about the apple, I don't care about you, leave me alone, right?
Yeah.
Because at least then you would understand why Gurgi's obsessed with him, right? Because he just wants more apples.
He just wants more of the munchins and crunchins, as he... I also want to know what Gurgi's deal is. Like, is he...
he's a Gurgi.
Yes.
He's Gurgi.
Is he, like, what is he doing? Everyone's like, you are so smelly, Gurgi.
That is true.
And he's like, yes, I do smell, master. Yeah, like, what is he, like...
What's his deal?
What is he? What's his deal? I just want to know what his deal is. We don't ever find out what his deal is, but anyway.
My pet theory is he's a forest deity.
He's like Radagast, but he's a dog.
Yeah, well... Yes and no, because Radagast is like a wizard, which is like an angel, essentially. But I'm saying instead of like an angel, right, which is a deific figure. I like your connection there. But he's like more of like a... I want to say he's like born of the forest spirit, right?
Yes.
And he is a personification of nature itself.
Yeah.
Of this forest specifically, and he's like 10,000 years old.
Yeah.
And he's a bit more, I'm thinking more like a Yoda. Yeah, Yoda cross Radagast actually is a good way. But also if he was like some sort of weird spirit being.
Yeah. Anyway, the pig gets taken by a bunch of dragons. That was horrifying. Gets taken
Wyverns.
to the...
Wyverns.
That's
not
true,
dragons. Wyverns, because they don't have 4 legs.
And
Dummy, you're so dumb.
And I know that, if I was under the age of 5, and that was the scene, like, and that would have been the scene I'd tap out. I would have been like, nah, this is too much for me.
That was fucked up. That poor fucking pig. And we're 2 seconds into the film and it's getting attacked by fucking dragon. It's like, this boy's doing such a shit job of taking care of this pig. And I mean, here's the thing, right? Next scene, he's going in, he's saving the pig, whatever.
He just walks into the castle.
Shit castle, shit guards, shit villain.
Real bad. That's why he wants the undead army, because all these humans are fucking useless.
They are. They're just partying and hitting on this one bosomous barmaid. But yeah, no, the boy comes in. Then the villain's like, we have captured the boy because you fucked up in your rescue.
Yeah.
Now you're going to show me how to use the visions for this pig. And the boy's like, no, I will not. And the villain's like, well, I will then kill the pig. Fuck you.
We're having bacon tonight.
And the boy's like, no, I will show you the vision. And I was like, whoa, boy. He literally needs you to show him how to use the pig, else he'll just kill the pig. He's not going to kill the pig. He needs the pig for the visions.
Yeah.
It's a bluff, bro. How did you not... it was a bad bluff as well, because what if his henchmen actually kill the pig? He's going to be real fucking mad.
True. So anyway, the pig's like, the cauldron's here. Does the pig say what the cauldron is?
I don't even know. I think it just shows visions of the cauldron, and the bad guy's like, yes, so the cauldron does exist.
And then they run away. That's right. And then they run away.
Yeah. Yeah, and then they escape.
He throws the pig into the moat, and then he gets captured. The pig falls the entire length of a castle, a very tall castle, into water, that poor pig, and then the kid gets captured, and for all we know, that pig got captured again, or is dead, or it was saved by a bunch of fairies. We'll get to that later.
Yep. Magic pig, though.
Yeah.
Magic pig.
That's true.
So it's magic. It used its magic to pig.
So he's locked up, and then a princess walks in and is like, "Oh, I see you're in this very secure prison. Come out and roam the castle with me through this little trapdoor."
What? Do they have any guards? Like, what is the security of this place? It's some of the worst of any villain layer ever. Like, literally just lock him in a room without holes that he can just leave by.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
This horned king is so bad at being it's very funny when you think about it.
Yeah.
Like, while I was watching it, I was like, this is hilariously stupid that the kid could just wander around this castle.
I feel like it's also like a situation where it's the classic like villain help is very incompetent.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly.
But like still, even then, like I feel like even the most incompetent villains could you know, keep a boy. Like, they could have just put him in chains, right?
Yep.
They put the old bard in some chains, and he's in a much worse situation because he can't leave because of the chains, right? And that makes sense.
The chains, yeah.
It's just like, did they forget the chain? I don't know.
I don't know, man.
It's very bad. Also, yeah, we meet this princess who has magical powers.
Oh, well, she's got a magic energy ball, but the orb is the orb can think for itself, so it's only in this part of the movie.
It's crazy. It just disappears for like half of the movie and comes back right at the end.
Well,
I was
because
like,
it was
what the
CGI.
fuck?
It was too expensive to have in the whole
Clearly.
movie.
But like, it's very jarring.
Yeah.
And that's not the only thing that's just like, it doesn't make sense. All right, I'm going to skip ahead a little bit to one scene because I wanted to mention it.
Sure.
With this character, because when they are recaptured by the villain, near the end of the film, he says, "I have recaptured these," is sort of like a boy, a scullery maid, and an old man, or something like that.
Yeah.
And I picked that up, and I am certain at some point there was like a reveal or something, or they were going to reveal that she was actually like a scullery maid and not a princess, right?
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Yeah. Or it's just like a mad insult he's doing, but it felt like it was like this is a scene in the movie that they cut ages ago, you know?
Yep.
You know what I mean?
I get you. I think that would actually make a lot of sense because she doesn't. Because while they're sneaking around the castle, he also grabs the king's magic lightsaber sword, which
What
I would
a
assume
find.
is that her dad? Like, if she is a princess,
No.
whose sword is that?
I'm pretty sure she's like captured from somewhere else, because remember, there's a war going on, right?
Well, yeah, actually, true. Yeah, she'd be from a different kingdom.
Yeah, so I think she's captured from a different kingdom, and also is like, not only is she a war bargaining chip, which was very common back in the medieval.
Yeah,
you captured the nobles, you get paid the ransom, everyone's happy, right?
Mm-hmm.
But also like, she had magic powers, so the king, the Horn King, was like, maybe she can help me find this black cauldron, and she couldn't. So he's like, yeah, whatever. You know, I think that's fair.
Yeah,
but yeah, it'd be funny if it turned out she was just a scullery maid.
Yeah, definitely. That would be good. But yeah, like, he gets this dead king's magic sword, which immediately I was like,
by the way.
Don't do that because it's probably cursed or some shit.
I also thought that. Like, why else would it just be left here by all the bad guys? But apparently the bad guys are just super incompetent and never found this part of the castle with a magic fucking sword that is OP as shit.
Yeah, so basically this kid is a fucking terrible hero, obviously, from the events of the movie so far. But this sword is a lightsaber. In the world of fantasy sword and steel, this is a laser sword that cuts everything in half.
Yeah.
So he's now overpowered, and now he's like, I'm the ultimate warrior of all time now. I'm like, no, you're not, dude. Anyone with that sword would be the ultimate fucking warrior of all time.
Yeah. Like, before, up to this point, everything he has done has really helped the villain, except maybe saving the pig right at the very end there.
Yeah, true.
But, like, everything before that has helped the villain.
Yeah.
Now that he has the sword, he's finally doing stuff that isn't actively helping the villain.
Yes.
And it's more like the sword is doing it, because we see later on the sword can, like, kind of animate itself as well and do some stuff by itself. So it's clearly the sword is the one doing all the heavy lifting here.
Yeah, no, definitely. So anyway, yeah, as you mentioned, they rescue an old bard who he was annoying, and I didn't care for him.
Whoa.
Mainly because I don't really like any of the characters in this movie, but I was like, oh yeah, a bard, and then it's just this old guy who's like, I'm a bard. I'm like, okay, I don't really care.
He does have a very sassy loot.
The Pinocchio loot.
Yes.
Is how I would describe it.
I think the loot, not necessarily Pinocchio, just like likes to mess with the bard itself.
Yeah.
It's like, you're lying, bro. Bro, you're lying,
Yeah. Yeah.
And I liked it. I felt my favorite character of the film was the loot being sassy and being like, bro, you're lying out of your ass right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
And so I liked that. But yeah, no, he just kind of sticks along and doesn't do anything until maybe the very end of the film, which is funny. But here's the thing. He still does more than the princess, who doesn't do anything through the whole film.
Yep, pretty much.
So yeah.
They escape and whatever, and
fall into a lake where they get, like, sucked into the fairy realm.
Yes. Well, they're walking through a lake that turns into a whirlpool that then pulls them into the fairy realm. And again, so this is, I know I rated this a goodie. Maybe I shouldn't have talking about it. So all of the characters, as we have just mentioned, all the characters are kind of annoying.
Yeah.
And they don't really do anything. And so when we're introduced to the fairies, I'm like, oh yeah, magical fairies. How could they fuck this up? Fucking hell, the main fairy guy that joins them for the quest is the fucking worst, dude. He's this old fairy guy who's like, oh, I thought I fixed everything properly. Whoops, it's all broken. And I'm like, I hate this guy.
Yeah, this is once again, it's like, it's not that anyone in this story, full stop, is competent. It's just someone is more incompetent than you, right?
Yeah.
For example, them finding the fairies was not an act of them being clever and, like, adventuring and finding these fairies. It was this one fairy being incompetent. They did not escape the like, villains' castle on their own merits. It's just the villains were really shit at recapturing them. Admittedly, I think maybe the magic sword is the only competent character in the film.
I agree.
Which is why they had to get rid of it at some point. It's like the Superman of this universe, right?
Literally.
The writers had to literally write it out so that they couldn't, like, just win with the sword.
Do you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of the D&D movie from a couple years ago, except it's not self-aware. That D&D movie was like, everyone's kind of incompetent, but it's funny, and things work out because they're lucky.
Yeah.
This movie is that, except it's not self-aware, and also the characters aren't as likable as they are in the D&D movie.
I agree with you 100%. This feels like a bad D&D session.
Yeah, definitely.
A D&D session where the DM did not do a good job and it just kind of flops.
Yeah, pretty much.
This is my greatest fear of a D&D session, is that I will do a poor job and the adventure will feel like this, you know? Because I know it's going to be, like, people are going to have fun and enjoy themselves, but I want my D&D sessions to be like the D&D movie.
Yeah.
Where it's like, it's dumb, it's stupid, and we fuck up, but it's funny.
Yeah.
And we get the job done anyway, so it's, you know, and there's some badass moment. Like, right, that's the perfect, like, that's my vibe.
Absolutely.
Whereas this film is like what I fear the vibe will be if I fuck up.
And I think maybe that's why I did enjoy the movie, because that kind of became my narrative.
Yeah.
Watching it was like, why are they so lucky? they're all so bad at this. And I think that's why I started to like
it
get
absolutely.
some fun from it.
I have been carried in fantasy films because I just go like, this feels like a D&D session.
Yeah.
And therefore I'm kind of enjoying it. I think there was a couple of films we watched back in the day where I've said similar things.
Yeah, absolutely. There were some.
This one, it was just like, I think because it felt like the DM was fucking up the whole time.
Yeah.
It really, so like, for example, the DM gives them this overpowered sword because they're so bad at combat.
Yes.
But then realizes the sword he gave them is so overpowered that they can just blitz through any combat he's given. So he's like, actually, the witches, they want to trade the sword for the Black Cauldron. You need to give them the sword now. And it's like, well, I guess we need to get rid of the sword. He's like, he's trying to make up for his mistakes.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
know?
Well, speaking of, that's what happens.
And then he's just making up how the Black Cauldron works at the end there.
That's pretty much what it feels like, especially at the end, which we'll get to. But
Yep.
Yeah, so as you just said, the fairies are like, if you want to go to the cauldron is in Mordor. Shit, sorry. The cauldron's in Morvar. And so they go to Morvar, and there's a witch's hut there, and it's scary. Oh, also along the way, our main character is misogynistic towards the princess and makes her cry.
There's a whole thing where he fights with her, and then they make up, and then they're like, "Are they actually gonna bang now? Are we gonna kiss? Are we gonna have a couple?" And it's like, no, not really. We don't care.
Not really. Yeah, he's like, what would a girl know about swords? I was like, the fuck is this kid's got fucking...
Yeah.
The sword's going to his brain. It's making a princess cry. What the hell, man? Anyway, they go into the scary witch's hut, and there's 3 witches.
I did want to mention, I think Fergie shows up at some point around here, right? What's his name? Fergie?
Who? The fairy?
No, the dog.
The dog. Oh, yeah. He's just kind of with them on and off for pretty much the whole adventure, but he's definitely with them from this point onwards, yeah.
Yeah, what's his name?
Gurgi. With the crunchy.
Not Fergie or Bergie. It's Gurgi.
The crunchy munchie.
Gurgi shows up, but he's the wrong color.
Oh, was he?
Whole scene. He goes grey for a bit.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. And I wondered why. And then I was like, I guess they just decided he was grey now. And then he shows up later and he's back to brown. And I went, what happened?
That might have been, they did have to reanimate a bunch of scenes that they cut. So maybe they cut that part as well as stuff from the ending. That could have been
Well, that's what I'm thinking. It was just really weird and jarring that he was a different color and there was no explanation. And then later on, he's the same color again. And I was like, what is going on in this film?
Yeah.
Anyway, continuing on. We got witches. We got frogs. The frogs are gone. They accidentally release a whole bunch of frogs.
Yeah, a whole bunch of frogs, which are actually men or whatever. And the witches are like, oh, one of us is the ugly one. One of us is the normal one. And the other one has big boobs. And the big boob witch...
horny.
Yes, the big boob witch is like, oh, Mr. Bard, I'm going to turn you into a frog and you're going to get stuck in my boobs. And that is a scene for about half a minute where the frog...
That is a scene in this film.
Yeah, where... Yeah.
And you know what, Sandro? As someone who's recently watched Sword in the Stone, apparently it is a canon thing that you have to have animals in horny situations in your film.
I don't...
Because
what
in the Sword of the Stone... In the Sword of the Stone, there's a squirrel. They change into different animals throughout the film.
Yeah.
And at one point, he turns into a squirrel. The boy gets turned into a squirrel. And then a female squirrel gets really horny for him. And that is a portion of the film where he then gets turned back into the boy. And the horny squirrel's heartbroken because it wasn't a boy squirrel. It was a boy.
What the fuck?
Yep. It is some weird stuff. But also... slight spoilers for Sword of the Stone. That female squirrel saves the boy, so technically she saved King Arthur.
Damn. And then she gets turned into a human?
Nope.
Aww.
That squirrel's gone for the rest of the film. That squirrel got fucked over. That squirrel got fucked over and saved the entirety of England, and no one fucking knows. Right? If you think about it.
That's great. I think that Disney do it a lot, and it's weird every time. Aside from in Robin Hood, when it's acceptable that everyone wants to fuck the fox.
Yeah, well, those furry baits are sexy.
That's true.
I can forgive that. No, but like also I think another squirrel hits on Merlin.
Hell yeah.
So it's like there's some old Yeah.
That
anyway,
squirrel was actually just the witch from this movie. That's what.
Yeah.
Anyway, the witches are like, if you give us the sword, we'll give you the cauldron. So he's like, well, if I was to be a real hero, then I would give you my sword to get the cauldron. So I'm going to be a real hero or whatever. I don't know. And then they get the cauldron, but oh my god, the Horned King followed them here. Oh, nuts.
What was their plan? Bro, like literally this whole portion of them is them going and finding the cauldron for the bad guy.
Well, they're going to find it to destroy it because the sword can destroy it, but then they give up the sword.
But then they get rid of the sword. It's so dumb. All they did was do the villain job. If they hadn't done any of this, the rest of the film wouldn't have happened because the Horned King would just be still out there looking for the fucking cauldron.
Man,
still wouldn't had any idea.
The more we talk about this movie, the more I'm like, it's not a goat story, but the plot is so very kind of shit. Actually, thinking about it,
it's really bad.
Maybe I shouldn't
think about it too much.
Look, I can't change my rating, but oh well.
You can't change it. That's why I gaslit you into giving it a goodie.
I enjoyed watching it, but now that we're going through it, all of the flaws are starting to
none of this makes any fucking sense.
So they're all surrounded aside from Goodie, and he's like, oh, my friends are captured. So they all get captured. And now the Horned King has the cauldron, and he puts a skeleton in the cauldron, and then that makes all of the other skeletons in his castle get engulfed in green magic, and they all come to life, and it's very spooky ooky. It looks a lot like Scooby-Doo type, like.
Yeah, that's fair, but it's also like big. They do a lot of animation, so I can appreciate it. It looks nice.
Sick, and I want that uncut version, the uncensored version, which was more violent.
Uncircumcised version, absolutely.
Because they're just walking around, right? All of these skeletons are walking around, and then Gougie's like, oh, the only way to stop them is by one of us falling into the cauldron.
It's crazy. Yeah, because the witches are like, lol, you gave us your sword. What's your fucking plan, dipshits? The only way to stop the cauldron is one of you fucking kills yourself in the cauldron.
Yep.
I was like, wow, this is going to get dark at some point. Because, then the boy goes to kill himself in the cauldron. And then Gougie's like, no, master, you don't kill yourself because I've been a coward the whole film and haven't done fucking anything. I'm going to kill myself.
Well, his actual quote is, Master has many friends. Gouglie has no friends. And then he just piffs himself into the cauldron and dies.
It's so fucked up. It's so fucked up.
And at this point in the movie, he's my favorite character. So I wrote down, no! Like, I was actually really sad. He's my favorite character.
Yeah.
But also, he's the Gollum. And how does he die? By falling into fire. What the fuck, Disney?
That's crazy.
What are you doing?
How can they do this? Lawyer up.
I know, right?
The thing was, I wasn't huge on Gouglie because he was just not in this film very much and didn't do anything. So I was like, cool moment. I was hoping he would stay in that. If he stayed in that cauldron, I might have given this a goodie.
He died forever.
But I felt like, I had that feeling, I'm like, this feels like a Superman death. This feels like this is a supposed kids film, right? Like, I feel like he's not going to stay dead.
Well, he does stay dead for a while, though. So that's
true.
You know.
Because, him necking himself stops all the skeletons.
Yes.
And in fact reverses the whole cauldron.
Which I think
so it starts sucking back the magic.
Yeah, and then all of the skeletons, like, fall over and they're dead again. And I think that, a lot was cut here because I think there was a lot of, like, action scenes and the skeletons were actually causing chaos throughout the realm or whatever. We would have seen a bunch of that.
Oh, man, that would have been sick.
And then what also was cut was then, the big bad guy is like, no, my cauldron, no.
Yeah, I forgot something, and I was going to mention it because it really irked me. Remember when they went to the fairies, right?
Yeah.
They bumped into the pig again, right?
Yeah.
And then the fairies go, all right, you go after the magic cauldron, we'll just put the pig back. And that's the last we see of the pig for the next half of the film until the very end of the film, right?
Yeah.
The pig's just not in the movie anymore. The pig's not relevant. And clearly that must have been like, that book is over now. We're into the second book or whatever, where the pig wasn't in the book, right? Or something like that. But it's just like this magic pig, which was the whole focus of the first half, is just no longer in this film. Not relevant. We didn't even know it was alive until they came back at the end of the film. I was like, what a weird choice. Like, this boy sucks at taking care. They just trust these fairies implicitly when they encounter them. The fairies trust them implicitly when they encounter. Because the fairies are like, well, we've just met you, but here's the Black Cauldron. This is how to get it. I'm sure you guys aren't affiliated with the Stag Lord, so here's all the information you need. We'll just help you out for no fucking reason.
Yep.
And then the heroes are like, yep, we'll trust you implicitly. Here's our magic pig. I'm sure you won't use this for nefarious means. We're off to get the cauldron.
Pretty much.
It just annoyed me. Anyway, we're back to the present where the king comes in and is like, Who messed with my fucking cauldron?
Oh, and then we have Taran, right? He is the hero. He's given up his sword, but now he feels like he hit. Before, the sword made him a hero, but him giving up the sword is what actually made him a true hero. And so he's like, Horned King, I will kill you, you piece of shit. And the Horned King's like, let's have a sword fight. And then they sword fight to the death, and it's real fucking epic. And because the bad guy is like a skeleton, maybe Taran like cuts off like an arm of his, and then like uses the arm and just like hits him in the face with it. Just real brutal shit, man. Real brutal. That's what happens, right?
Did you watch The Sword in the Stone? Or like, what movie did you watch? Because, none of that fucking happened in the film I watched.
What did happen then? I hope it was just as epic and just a real big.
The Stag Lord kind of like stumbles over and like kind of grabs at the boy for a bit and then gets sucked into the cauldron and dies.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that's kind of it. The boy kind of like gives him one punch at some point, and they just kind of struggle a bit, and then he just kind of dies.
Yeah, the Horned King walks into the room with the cauldron, and there's a big wind, and it's pulling him into the cauldron, and the boy is holding onto something, and so only the king got. To be fair, him dying and being sucked into the cauldron was very brutal, and that looked really cool.
Oh, it was sick, and I liked there was the zoom in on the like face in the cauldron.
Yeah,
so it's like showing that the cauldron's kind of deliberately like, yeah, fuck you, man, I don't give a shit, you know. And I liked that. But yes, the ending was unbelievably underwhelming.
One of the worst endings I've honestly ever. Not like worst. One of the most underwhelming, but in a funny way. Where I'm like, this kid fucking does nothing, dude. It just holds onto a rope.
Again, it's not that the kid is a better than the villain. It's the villain is worse than the kid, right? The villain's incompetence for getting so close to the cauldron that it's able to just suck him into the cauldron is the villain's fault, and it's really dumb.
Yeah.
Then the Stag Lord dies, and then there's 10 more minutes of this film of like them being like, oh man, I really wish Gurgi was here to see this victory. Oh, the witches, they're in the clouds and the witches are here. And they're like, well, now that we've really fucked with the real world, how about we take this cauldron back, seeing as you don't need it?
And we can give you back your sword. You'd like that, wouldn't you, Mr. Hero Man?
Whoa. This is the one bit the bard does something. Because the bard's like, hold up. You can't just take the fucking cauldron. We traded for that cauldron.
Yeah.
If you're going to take the cauldron, we need something back.
That's right.
And I was like, it's literally the only thing the bard does. And he's one of the, like, 3 companions in this quest where there's a total of 1 thing done by the 2 side characters.
Literally. So, yes, that was a good moment. And, the witches are like, well, we'll give you back your sword. But Taran's like, no. Give me back my dog.
Well, he doesn't say dog, because Gurgi isn't a dog, actually. At no point did they call Gurgi a
but he
dog.
looks like
in
a
fact,
dog.
Dog is never
He looks like a
mentioned.
dog and my
Barely
connection
looks
works.
Like a dog.
Fuck you.
He looks like a weird fucking Muppet
Yeah, he
creature.
does, actually. Yeah, it's a stretch. I'll take it. That's a stretch.
Yeah. Oh, so they use their magical powers. They swirl around the cauldron. The cauldron disappears in a giant vortex of black smoke, and out of the smoke pops out a dead Gurgi.
Oh, he's dead. No.
It would have been so good if they were like, give us back Gurgi, and they just give him back the dead body of Gurgi and he's just dead. I would have been so happy. I would have been so pleased. I would have been like, yes, this follows all the rules of the lore that I've been given. Because, of course, you can get Gurgi back out of the cauldron. Just anything out of the cauldron is dead.
Yeah.
Right? So they never said they would give him back alive.
No, exactly.
They just said, I'll take Gurgi back and you could have the cauldron. And if I was a demon, I would have been like, cool, here's your dead friend.
Yeah,
bye.
No, for real.
And then they would have been like, but he's dead. And it's like, you didn't ask for him alive. You just asked for him.
No, literally.
There you go.
That
Bye.
would have been a very good ending. But no, he's just plain dead so we can get close to them and get the munchins and the crunchins.
Yep. Yeah. And then he
makes the kid kiss the princess, even though there was nothing there.
There was no consent from either parties. I was like, Gurgi is very
What the hell you doing, Gogi? And then they walk off into the sunset, and then we see the pig and the old man from the start of the movie watching a vision of them walking off into the sunset and smiling, and then the movie ends.
Yep. Wow. Incredible.
Yeah, look, going through the plot has look, it's been very fun, but I do think that I stand by my Goodie, and I will say that much. I stand by it because this movie's
I can respect you standing by
this
your
movie
guns.
gave us a fun episode, and therefore it will give me it's a Goodie.
Absolutely. I think this could have used a couple more years, really fleshed out.
Yeah,
but I feel like the background
a bit too violent. A lot had to be edited, and people leaving.
I think at that point you need to cut your losses and try and make it a more adult.
Yeah,
because I think that's the problem. Is like the books definitely maybe more young adult, rather than child, and they're trying to Disney-fy it and they're trying to make it childlike, but at the same time they're trying to keep the story. And the problem is the story's a lot more darker than they originally realized.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's probably what the fighting was over. Is like, we need to make this film more dark to be like the books, but the Disney's like, no, we need to make it more friendly and kid friendly, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's a back and forth there. I can see that.
I think as well, though, the art was really fucking cool. The animation's good. The voice acting, only John Hurt. He's the only notable actor in this. Obviously, he's
good.
Heaps of shit. I love him. He's phenomenal. But all of the other smaller cast members are really good as well. It looks good. It looks scary. Yeah. I like all that stuff. Yeah. And so I think that I can look past the plot and be like, it was kind of fun sometimes.
Yeah. I thought it was very mid.
It was interesting.
All right, Sander.
Sorry, you
it's
scared
time. Me. Yeah, that's all right. I did pop out of the cauldron.
Get back in there.
I will, but only if you solve my riddle.
Oh, okay.
The riddle is ranking reviews, ratings, ranking review rumble.
Yeah,
that's the one.
That's
I
it.
definitely remember the name.
Yeah.
All right. This is the part of the show where I get some reviews from certain sites.
Oh.
Those sites this week being Rotten Tomatoes, Letterboxd, Common Sense Media, IMDb, and Metacritic.
Oh, those are some good sites aside from Metacritic.
And then I shuffle them all up. And then I add my own cheeky little review.
Oh, a little Joker card in there.
Yeah. And then you have to guess which review is from which site as we go through them. And I'll see if you get them right. I'll see if you get them wrong. We'll see how it goes.
Now, this movie is split on everything 50-50 across the board, so this will be interesting.
Yes. I think it's got like a 51 on Rotten Tomatoes with a 49 audience score.
Wow. Very low.
So
okay.
it's kind of, it's low, but it's kind of in the middle. You know, there's people like you, Sandro, which are a fan of this film, a huge simp.
Number one
film.
fan. Definitely stand by my Goodie rating. Yes.
Yeah, and there's it's probably a lot of people that also read the books as well.
Yeah,
probably
maybe
like this. It probably helps knowing the context for a lot of the scenes. Would have been a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. All right. I've changed all the usernames to mask which site they are from.
Ooh.
I've also changed some of the scores because some of the sites use out of 10 instead of out of 5, and I've used a very, very complicated mathematical equation of like 2 equations to make it into a... Yeah, you just kind of cut it in half.
That's quite a lot, actually. Yeah, okay, cool.
Yep. All right. Are we ready?
I'm ready. Are we doing the blind rankings? What are we doing with the...
Yeah, so you pointed out at some point that these seem to be getting longer and longer, and we kind of need to shorten down the back end of our episodes because they're getting a bit too long. So maybe I could try something different. So I was thinking, after you give it you pick a site, I tell you whether that was right or wrong straight away, and then we go to the next one. And that way you might have some knowledge. It might make it easier or harder, depending.
I think that's good. I'm throwing shit at the wall, and our audience doesn't have to remember anything. So that's
correct.
Good. Let's do it.
All right. So the first review is by Pluto.
Oh, from the Mickey Mouse Club.
No, I mean the planet.
Oh, that's
Dummy.
boring.
Can't believe Disney never sued Andy Serkis for blatantly ripping off Gurgi in Lord of the Rings.
That's pretty funny. But as we know, as true historians, Gurgi ripped off the animated Lord of the Rings from the 70s. Because the voice is the same. So, take that. That sounds like a... Oh, it's trying to be sassy, so it could be letterboxed. I'm going to say that's a 2-star review, and it is letterboxed.
It is a 2-star review, and it is letterboxed.
What
well done,
the hell?
sir.
I like this new way of doing it, actually. I think it's good. Yeah, cool. All right.
All right. The next review is by Doug from Up, who says, incredible.
Oh, that's all.
That's it.
That's it. That's all they said.
That's it.
Wow. That's IMDb because it's the title of a review. It's not the review itself. And I'm going to say it's probably a 5 out of 5.
Well, it's 3.5.
Oh, what the hell? Incredible, and you gave it a 3?
And it's also not IMDb.
Oh, intriguing. What could it be?
So unfortunately, you have used up your IMDb and cannot use it again. But you know that one is wrong. Well, actually, I guess you can use IMDb
No, I like the idea
again.
of not being able to use it again, even though I know it's wrong.
No, I think because this way you could potentially use it again because you know that one was wrong.
That's true. And
so
I guess
now
it's harder for me, though, because there's too many...
Yeah, so now it's just harder for you.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay,
Because you've got one wrong.
Yeah, no, I like that. All right.
Okay,
yeah,
all right,
we'll do that. We'll do that. Okay.
The next review is by Goofy.
Fuck's sake.
The movie has its issues, but I actually like it.
That one could be Rotten Tomatoes. And I'm going to say, it has its issues, but I like it. 3.5 Rotten Tomatoes.
Ooh, it's 3 out of 5.
Okay.
It's 3 out of 5, but it was not Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh my god. Okay, this is very difficult. Next one,
Remember,
then.
you could use IMDb again.
That's
you know?
true,
You
that's
could've
true.
been-
But that's too long for it. But also the titles are long as well, and the reviews are long. Oh, man. Too many options. Okay, let's go.
All right. The next review is by Bolt.
Oh, John Travolta.
Yeah. True to the 80s style animation. But the theme was simply too dark.
Common Sense Media. Too dark. Kids can't watch it. That's a 2 out of 5.
That's a 3.5, and it is not Common
What
Sense
the fuck?
Media.
What the hell? I used up all my luck at the start.
I'm liking this version because it gives you more opportunities to fuck up as well.
It really does. It really does.
Whereas the other options you've had, you know what you've used, and like you just have to commit to things. This one allows you to do multiple of the same and be wrong multiple times. Like, there's a lot here. I'm liking this. All right.
Okay.
The next review is by Lady.
And the Tramp.
Nope, just Lady.
Just Lady. Okay, fair enough.
Technically, her name was just Lady, right? Like,
I mean, that's true.
That's the character, right? Yeah. I could have said Tramp, but that sounded wrong. So I was just like,
that's
Lady.
fair.
Remember the number 1 rules, guys. It's okay for people to be horny in a kids' film if they're old.
Oh, that's a good review. Oh, that's a good review. Almost too good. So I think it's Zach. And I think you would give this a 2.5.
I did give it a 2.5 because it is me.
Hell yeah. Double points on the board.
Yeah, you did get that one. I was like, maybe he might think I was the first one, but no.
No.
You did well. Because I was hoping this one might trick you. Maybe I should have put it earlier. It says, it's by Airbud.
Oh, yes.
Who says, sorry, D&D was boring this week, guys.
That definitely could have been your review.
Yeah, I should have put that one earlier.
I'm going to say that's Metacritic. I'm going to go Metacritic, actually. I'm like, I could use all of the others, but I'm going to go Metacritic. And I'm going to say that is a 2.
Ooh, it was a 2.5, and you were wrong. It was not Metacritic.
It's not Metacritic. Well,
wow, you did a lot worse this week.
That's true.
The other weeks you've been pretty spot on, but this week you've just been all over the place. Did you double down on anything? No, you didn't double down on anything.
I actually spread it all out, and I probably should have just doubled down on one and at least gotten that 1 point guaranteed. You know what I mean?
If you had just said the same one over and over again, you would have gotten at least one right. I think because you're used to putting one different one on everything. Yeah. The problem was once you get one wrong, you should try and think about using it again because it's more likely it's going to show up later.
No,
right?
definitely.
But you just didn't do that. Okay, well, this was an interesting experiment. Maybe we'll try this one again.
I like this a lot. It feels like it flowed really well. I enjoyed it. It was fun and it was very hard.
All right, so I'll just go through them quickly. Pluto was Letterboxd. You got that one correct.
Yep.
For suing Andy Serkis. Doug from Up who just said incredible. That was from Metacritic.
That makes sense, actually. That does make sense, actually. Yep.
Well, every other review on Metacritic was a long-witted pile of fart, but this one was just a one-word thing, and I'm like, he's never going to get this right. He's never going to get Metacritic. So I really threw you a curveball there.
That's a good one.
Goofy says this movie has its issues, but I actually like it.
Yeah.
You said Rotten Tomatoes, but that was actually Common Sense Media.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, because I got one of the less issue focused.
Really hidden one there.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think one of the reviews actually said this was better than Sword in the Stone, and that made me mad.
That's
that was on Common Sense Media, and it upset me.
More like common sense went out the door when that person logged in.
Speaking of you not having common sense, Sandro.
Wow.
Bolt said true to the 90s style animation, but the theme was simply too dark. You said that was Common Sense Media because they were complaining about it being too dark, but that was actually the title of an IMDb
Oh my god. Of
review.
course it was. They're so long and I will never figure it out. Okay, yep. Yeah.
And then there was mine, of course, and then the last one was Airbud. Airbud was from Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow.
Rotten Tomatoes said, sorry, D&D was boring this week, guys.
That's a very funny review for Rotten Tomatoes.
Which is a really funny review for Rotten Tomatoes.
What
So I was pretty
the
happy
hell's
with
going on? Well, there we
Should
go.
have put that one higher, and that would have really tripped you up. That would have been fun.
All right. Well, that's the episode. Thanks so much for listening to our review of The Black Cauldron. Our final family film for at least the next week.
Is what Sandro thinks.
No, I will force it upon the listeners that we will do an adult... No, that sounds awful. Anyway...
We're doing adult films next week. All porno.
Hell yeah. As long as they're fantasy themed, I'm on board.
They're just parodies of films that we've already watched on the podcast.
Oh, that sounds like a terrible episode. Well, we got to watch it
awful.
in person, though, so...
Oh, no. Really, like, fucking Italian murder-style movie where we're just in one of those gross theaters.
Hell yeah.
From the 80s.
Hell yeah. Anyway, if you like the show, go tell a friend and be like, hey, friend, listen to this. And your friend will be like... Thanks, friend. You know what, friend? I've never really told you how good of a friend you are. And then you're like, shut up, I can't hear you. I'm listening to the podcast I just told you to listen to. That's how that would go. If you want to help out the show, you can review us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Drop a rating in there, really helps out. Drop a comment on Spotify, helps out too. Go to fucking YouTube, subscribe, drop comments there. Drop comments everywhere you can if you want. You can also go to patreon.com/oldie-but-a-goodie-pod. Get ad-free early episodes come out 2 days early, and you can drop comments on there too. Drop those comments. Now, Zach, it's time for everyone's favorite segment. How are we tracking with our X-Men bonus battle for the TV shows? Where you at?
Oh, I have watched 2 of each.
Oh, okay.
Well, okay, I've watched 2 and 1.5. I haven't finished the second episode of the Gifted. I need to do that at some point.
You definitely need to finish the second episode of The Gifted
I
for
know.
stuff I know that happens that is hilarious. But Zach, I have also watched 2 of both, so I think we're on the right. I think we're ready to record this week.
Okay. Well, I've definitely been struggling to get through these. Look, I was very confident going into this that I'd be able to watch, like, both seasons. I didn't realize, like, they're kind of hour-long episodes for each.
Yep.
And if you got, like, 12 episodes in a season, 12 hours, plus an additional 20 hours is an insane amount of watch time. So I was too overconfident.
Yep.
I'll be the first to
You
admit
were,
that.
and I knew you were, and that's why I made this a segment.
But here's the thing. It's just like, when I think of a TV show, I think of like a half an hour, 20-minute, I don't know.
Wow. TV shows haven't been that length for a very long time.
I haven't watched TV in a very long time.
Well, you know what?
I haven't watched TV since I was a kid. That's the trouble.
That is fair, and well, you've seen two episodes of both, and so this week, coming out on Wednesday, it is the X-Men bonus battle between Legion and the Gifted. What will win? I wonder what's gonna win.
Which one?
What's the good
Who
one?
could win? Who could win?
I don't
Who
know, man.
knows?
That'll be on Patreon. That's going to be a lot of fun as we discuss how these TV shows are connected to X-Men, because they definitely are, and we'll talk about it in the bonus battle.
Yes, and there will be spoilers, because Sandra is going to spoil it for me, because I can't be bothered watching all of the series.
I will not spoil Legion because I love it. The Gifted, though.
Very good. Yeah. That was more what I was trying to say.
We'll see. And that'll be up on Patreon, on Wednesday, and Zach and I will record it. I don't know.
I'll see how much I can get through before then.
Maybe I
Probably
have
like
a lot,
one episode.
I have a lot on, so we might need to record tomorrow. We'll see. Anyway, who knows?
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. Anyway, patreon.com/oldie-but-a-goodie-pod, link in the episode description. Zach, you're picking next week's episode, but I'm picking it, but you're picking it. So let's go.
Yes. And for the sake of time, I think I'm just going to do 3 movies this week.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
All
just
right.
3 movies. Yeah. I'm trying to keep it short and sweet.
Okay.
I know we're gonna be working on our time schedules, so we'll do maybe we do the old system.
Oh, no more points. I did notice that the points system was not saving us any time, so that's fair enough.
I think going back to the point system could be fun, especially if we want to return to old movies that we want to do again.
Yeah.
I think I might do that in the future again. But for this week, let's go back to the old system.
All
Why
right,
not?
the old system with the gimmies and all the classic stuff.
Yeah. So I've got 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
And I've got some gimmies, and I got some non-gimmies. So what do you want from me?
The
You want some
gimmies, I like, you know me, I like genre, I like years, actors if possible. I like all of that classic stuff.
I think actors is a bit difficult.
Okay.
I think I'm going to pass on actors because I think it's just going to be 3 people you don't know. Because the people you know will give it away.
Okay, understandable. How about whether or not they're live action or animated? That can be that can be one. And I don't care if they're all one of them. I want that to be one of the gimmies you give me at the start.
Okay, sure. Would you like me to tell you that right now?
No, I want you to give me all the gimmies for each movie, and that will be one of them.
All right. I'm going to start with the first gimme that I have prepared beforehand. This is not obviously a regular one. This is one. This one's actually the connection.
Oh.
For next week's movie.
Oh, The Connection.
Yes,
okay.
The Connection. Now, Sandro, in this film, there was a lot of things.
There's a lot you could do.
Yeah, there's a lot of different things. What's some of the connections you can think of?
Pig.
Yep.
With the movies with pigs in them. Skeletons. Movies with skeletons in them. I did
Movies
already
with
use the connection Undead Armies, which would have been a good one for this one if I hadn't already used it.
I would have been good.
You could do... no, you can't do Man with a Sword because I've already done it. You could do... You can't even do Wizard. You could do Fairies, maybe?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's really interesting that you bring up, especially the first one, movies with pigs. But I was more thinking... And like, that's a good connection. I think that would be a good connection. But I was more thinking about what this movie was lacking. What this movie didn't have.
Well, you can't make a connection out of something a movie doesn't have.
Well, I think I can.
Oh.
Because the connection is that both the movies do not have this thing in it, right?
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Well, I'm excited to see what it is.
Let me tell you, and then my connection is movies without dogs. The movie does not feature a dog character.
That's a pretty dumb connection, but a fun connection. Is that your connection for all of these movies?
All of these movies do not feature a dog. The connection does not feature a dog.
Does not feature a dog. We have 2 connections now back to back that kind of contradict each other, which is a very interesting connection, considering that neither of them are invalid.
Correct. Which is very interesting. I thought... Now, let's be clear. The way I researched this was doing 2 minutes of Googling to see if these movies had dogs in them. And I did cut a couple of movies.
Oh, wow.
Like
Okay.
Labyrinth, for example, has a dog in it.
It's also a family movie, so I wouldn't have wanted to do it.
Yeah, but like, I would argue it's not an animated movie, so it at least has that, you know.
Yep.
And let's say The Godfather Part 2. There's a dog in that movie.
Oh,
There's
damn
like
it.
a flashback.
I mean, for you.
There's a... Yeah. There's like a flashback. But those are examples of movies I thought of. I looked up and I saw this had a dog, so I didn't put them in. So this connection is relevant.
All right, sure.
It's surprisingly difficult to find films where you're like, a film that doesn't have a dog. It's very easy to find films that do have dogs in them.
Definitely, yeah.
Because dogs are very prevalent. But finding films without dogs was a trickier than I thought at first.
Okay, so the connection for all 3 of these movies is does not feature a dog, even though Black Cauldron definitely did feature a dog, but also that is
correct.
And not a stretch, because the Black Cauldron did not feature a dog. So, all right, then what are the gimmies? I'm excited.
All right. So let's go through the classics.
Yep.
We got genres.
Yep.
So, first genre, action.
Okay.
Second movie, adventure.
Ooh.
And the third movie is horror.
Oh, hell yes, a horror film. Well, I know that the action isn't going to be John Wick. I know that the adventure isn't going to be Beethoven, and I know that the horror isn't going to be Cujo, because obviously they all feature a dog, so...
Correct.
I know what these movies are not.
You narrowed it down.
That's right.
You practically know what films they are already.
That's true. I'm ready to cut one and choose one already.
Would you like to hear years?
Yeah, absolutely.
You're going to think these years are interesting. All right, first one is 1964.
Oh, and that's the action one.
Correct.
Wow, that's an old one. Okay.
The second one is 2005.
That's scary.
Yep. And the third one is 2001.
Oh, intriguing. What horror film from 2001 haven't we done?
A horror film from 2001, yeah.
That we haven't done before on the podcast. That's very interesting. And that is fascinating, one might say. Ooh, exciting.
What would you like next?
Ooh, if these movies went on a quest to destroy a magical item of great evil, what would the magical item of great evil be for these movies?
Okay. The third one is like a golden crown.
Oh, a golden crown. Okay.
Or like a golden helmet.
Oh.
You know. But it's kind of crown. It's like a decorated helmet.
Okay,
you know?
yeah.
Second one would be a golden, like, a gauntlet. A golden, not gauntlet, like a cup. A golden cup. What do you call that?
Like a
chalice.
Yeah,
a
chalice.
golden chalice.
That's
the word I'm looking for.
Okay.
And the first one would be... First one's a bit tricky.
Oh, wait, what's the order that you went in?
I went for the last one.
Oh, the last.
first
Okay,
one.
so it's
The
helmet.
last one
and
was
then...
more of it.
Right, gotcha.
Yes, so the last one is the helmet.
Yeah.
The middle one is the chalice.
Okay.
The first one, I'm going to say, like, a magical bottle of booze.
Oh, look, I was on board with that action film, but now I'm like, I don't know about a magical bottle of booze.
It's a bit hard. Yeah.
Okay.
Like one that, like, has infinite pouring.
Yeah,
you know?
gotcha.
You pour
Yeah,
it and
for
it's,
sure.
like, infinite.
I want to know, are these movies animated or live action? And, actually, also, what's the rating?
Oh, I can do ratings.
Okay.
I'll give you ratings because I think that's more interesting. First one is MA 15 plus.
Oh, yeah, now we're talking.
Which you could argue is not a children's film. The second film is PG.
Nah, too young.
The third film is R18
Hell
plus.
yeah, it is. Okay, I'm cutting the adventure movie. It's cut.
Okay, you're just cutting it?
Yep.
I can tell you none of them are kids' films, and none of them are animated.
I'm still cutting it. I'm not risking it, Zach.
That's fair.
I know.
That's fair. No.
I'm going to cut it.
That's very fair.
I'm cutting the
That's a good
adventure
cut.
film
Good cut.
with the chalice.
No, that's a very, very good cut. I agree.
Purely because of I just want to. Okay, now you say these movies they don't feature any dogs, but if these two movies, the action and the horror film, were dogs,
Yeah.
but they could talk and they were in a magical land, give me the sort of dog they look like and then give me a voice.
Okay, you know that horror film, right?
Yeah.
Do you know of any demon dogs that you've seen in literature? Perhaps in
Yeah,
films
it could be like a
that have,
Cerberus.
peed fire.
Yeah. Oh.
Or
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Sure.
I'm thinking that dog.
Dog.
Does that dog talk?
That pee. Yeah. It's got like Freddy's face on it, and then it pees.
Yeah, that'll be this one.
Wow. Okay.
And then maybe the first one. The first one's a bit tricky because it could be a few different dogs.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say the Anatolian shepherd dog.
Oh, I need to look that up.
It's a big dog.
Shepherd. Oh, okay.
It's a big dog.
That is a
It's
very big dog.
So you got that big dog, and then it'd be an Anatolian shepherd dog and its best pal, the border collie.
Wow. Okay.
Right?
Yep. Yeah.
And the Anatolian shepherd dog would be like, I'm really serious. I'm just going off cats versus dog at this point.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sure.
I'm a really big, serious dog, you know? And then the border collie's like, yeah, we're going to get him, man. We're going to do this. We're going to go, full of energy, you know?
Oh, okay. Serious, and then like, okay.
Yeah. And then for the other one, you got the fire peeing dog, right?
Yeah.
And then you got like a Bernard, right?
Mm.
And you got the fire peeing dogs like, I'm evil. And the other dog's like, oh man, that's not good. Oh no, that's an evil dog right there.
Oh, wow.
Damn.
Okay. This is a hard
And it's like,
one.
once the horror shit goes down, that other dog's like, fuck this shit. I'm out of here, you know?
Yeah, okay, gotcha. Yeah, right. Oh, man. Okay. Magical bottle of booze and a golden helmet. This is a really, really hard choice that I have here.
It is pretty
and I
hard.
also don't know, like, what questions to ask. You know what? I'm going to ask for a painting.
A painting.
And that should help me decide, I reckon. A painting, yeah.
Okay. First one is a barren landscape.
Oh.
With maybe like a tree, an old gnarled tree in the middle.
Oh.
And then maybe some like horses running off in the distance, but you can barely see them, you know.
Well, that's really getting my attention. Because that's not at all what I thought of when I was thinking an action film from the 60s. I was like, is this Dirty Harry? What is this? But now I'm intrigued. Okay.
Yeah. And, oh man, the other one. It's like a church. But have you seen those pictures where there's like things that are wrong in the picture, and the more you look, the worse the picture gets? Like there's all these like
yes.
It's like that, but it's a church scene, but then you're looking at Jesus Christ and his like his feet are tentacles and he's got sharp teeth and one of his eyes are missing. And like then there's a pew stand and there's like a little creature's little feet, like he's poking his eye out, you know, and then there's like a nun that's praying.
Okay, yeah.
But she's got like a tail.
What the actual fuck did you...
Well, you asked for a painting, all right?
I love that. That's so messed up. Oh, man, that's a really hard choice. Oh, that's hard. But you know what? I think one of these interests me more.
Okay.
I know that this is so against my character.
Ooh.
But the horror film, the church stuff, tentacle, Jesus, Cthulhu man, that's fucking sick. That's really cool.
Yep.
But it's the only one there, really, that is more interesting to me. Everything else with that action one, magical bottle of booze, I wasn't on board with until you mentioned, you know, the barren landscape. I'm like, what actually is that? I'm very intrigued. The dogs... reminded me of like Butch Cassidy kind of vibes. I don't know why.
Yeah.
And and it's from the 60s, so we're going back to the old movie. I am going to pick that first one.
You're going to pick the first one?
I'm picking the first one.
Wow.
I know
very interesting.
I know I am the horror boy, but I'm going for the first one.
So, are you considering the years like you're a little scared of the 2001? Maybe
because
that
I don't
influence your decision.
Because we did a whole year of 2001, and I feel like I took it upon myself to pick every horror film that I could. So I don't know what is left over that you've picked.
I'm going to mention this, and you're going to look it up and go like, "Oh man, that would have been good."
Yeah, absolutely. I think I will, but I'm going to go with that first one.
We'll start with the middle one, the one that you cut out early.
The adventure film?
That was a sports adventure film.
Oh.
From 2005. Can you guess what it was?
Is it the Anthony Hopkins one?
It is.
Oh, okay.
It is the world's fastest
You
Indian.
put it in there again.
I put it in there again.
You put it in there again.
And so I was thinking Chalice because it's just the trophy.
The trophy,
you know?
sure, yeah. I getcha. That's very funny. I feel like you have like 3 movies that you keep returning to, and then I have this like list of 20 movies that just randomly pop up every now and then. It's just very funny.
Yeah, well, I just really wanted to see that one at some point.
I would like to watch it. It sounds very good. But alas, not this time.
But also, I was just trying to find movies that didn't feature a dog. Because here's the problem. I came up with a lot of movies, all of which had a dog in them.
Wow.
It was very annoying. I can't remember the full list, but it's like I went through these movies, and every time I go to it, it's like, there's like a 2-minute scene where a dog shows up and barks at a demon, right?
Yeah.
And then, like, you know, they go, whatever. Anyway.
And you were so fixated on your connection being does not feature a dog. You couldn't think of another connection.
It was my best connection. No, I was like, this is the connection.
It's a very good connection.
Because it's really funny. All right. But the 2001 film, though.
Okay.
This is very cool.
Yep.
This is a Spanish film.
Oh.
Do you know what film it is?
Yeah, it's Guillermo del Toro's first movie, isn't it? What's it called?
No.
Oh, it's not that one. Okay, I thought it was. Okay.
No.
What is it then?
It's called Dagon.
Dagon.
Dagon 2001.
What did you think that I would say again? Was it like, oh man, I wish we did this?
No, just look it up. Just look it
This
up.
looks sick. Hell yeah. Fuck. I passed up on this? God damn it.
It's a Spanish horror film directed by Stuart Gordon.
Oh.
And written by Dennis Polly, based on a 1990s short story.
It's the director of
And then there's, like, a
Reanimator.
novel.
Oh god damn it!
Yeah.
I could have
And it's
then
like
we could have then done Reanimator, and I wanted to do
It's
that.
like
Been
a
on my list for
weird
ages.
horror cult film where there's a lot of like, it's like there's lots of like evil mermaids that show up, and there's like a cult at this local shipping thing that like worship.
Oh, it's based on a H.P. Lovecraft story. Oh, for fuck's sake,
and
that would have been so
lots of
good.
tentacles, lots of things.
Oh man, I should have picked up on those tentacle vibes. But you know what?
Yeah,
That's fine because I'm going to add it to my list of movies to put in every week. So actually, I win.
But Sandro, you may think you're the winning, but I'm actually winning.
Oh, no.
I am very willing because I'm very glad you picked this film. I didn't want to lean you towards picking this film, but I did make it a short list because I was like, I really do want you to pick this film in particular.
Okay.
I have put this film in as an option in other weeks as well.
Intriguing.
Now, Sandro,
Yeah.
this was an action film,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Can you guess what the other genre might be?
Like crime?
Well, not quite.
Not quite crime.
Think of the painting.
The painting.
You know? An open
Horses.
desert plain with a band of gnarled trees.
Would it be like a
horses in the
western?
distance.
I was getting Butch Cassidy vibes.
It is a western,
Oh.
and it's interesting that you say Butch Cassidy, because it is kind of along those vibes.
Okay.
For I have put in A Fistful of Dollars.
Oh, I know why you're so
as an
happy.
option. Yes, Sandro. Sandro immediately realizes
Yeah.
why I was so happy
Yeah.
that this is chosen. Because, as you, of course, recall, I have our trilogy
You
card.
do have a trilogy card.
that I've been sitting on for a while
Yes,
now.
yes,
I've
you
been
do.
sitting on for a while because I have been wanting to use it for something like A Fistful of Dollars
Yes.
for a while now.
Oh, so Zach, are you perhaps going to use that for the Dollars trilogy, the Man with No Name trilogy of movies?
I am indeed.
Oh my god, I can't believe you've taken over the next 3 weeks of the podcast.
Because, Sandro, we have watched like 5 kid movies in a row,
Yeah.
and I am sick of you steering us towards this bullshit. We are going to do some hard MA-15 plus, not quite R-rated, but MA-15 plus movies.
Wow.
And it's going to be, we're going to be hard because we're in the Wild West. This ain't for kids, you know.
Damn.
Kids are left in the dust and they
true.
die.
It's true, they are.
We're rough and tough and
Arr.
we're a sheepdog.
Wow.
I didn't want to say sheepdog because that would give away the fact that this was definitely a western, but a border collie. That's what I was kind of looking for.
Wow. That is a big turn of events. I honestly actually didn't expect that at all. And but I was also like, I was just waiting for you to do 3 options that were all trilogies. So that's why I wasn't expecting you to
here's the
sneak
thing.
one in there.
The 2 other movies I would have both been happy with.
Yeah.
But they weren't the trilogies. It was only if you picked this one was it going to be a trilogy.
Well, I'm very excited because now I have the trilogy card again. But also,
yes, you do. I do hand over the trilogy card to you, so you have the power now.
so, Zach, that means for the next 3 weeks we are doing Fistful of Dollars, a few dollars more, and then The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, all Clint Eastwood, Sergio Leone movies. Now, you have to come up with connections between them.
Absolutely.
That obviously, we haven't used before because that's how it works. The rules don't change. It's just that the next movie set, you've got to figure out a connection.
Absolutely. Have we used the connection Clint Eastwood yet?
Absolutely not.
That's interesting. Something to think about. really.
Something to think about for next week for you.
Something to think about.
Damn, I'm excited to do this. I've always wanted to watch these, so hell yeah.
Have we used Western as a connection?
Nope.
Something to think about. Something to think about.
Zach, have we
Something
used
to think about.
Showdown?
Ooh,
Showdown?
I don't think we have.
You could use the connection of there is a high noon at one point. But your first connection is does not feature a dog, which I will if there is a dog for a single frame.
Yeah. I know. I'm really putting all my chips in because I googled a fistful of dollars and does it have a dog, and it said it did not have a dog.
Okay.
So I really hope it doesn't have a dog.